for a sale, because it adds up quick. How do you disable RTPS? It's crashing my Guild Wars 2. Hang on a second. You want to disable ArcTPS. If you're not using the Nexus add-on manager, then what you need to do is you need to go to your C drive. Well, by default, it's like C Program Files Guild Wars 2. And in here, you want to... like, if there's an add-ons folder, I think you delete the add-ons folder, and there's usually a file down here, and it starts with D. It's like D3, D9 or something like that, and you need to delete that file. And then when you open the game, it'll rebuild the file, but without the add-on. That's the ancient way of doing it. Conscience of Warrior's Soul.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you today?
Hello, Birdtree. Yes. Yeah, Bird. I was notified. I'm gonna do a video on that near the end of the stream. Nomad? Nomad was interesting. I like the Nomad City mechanic, but I don't really like their units, especially their healers. I don't like how their healers work. In certain ones, like, for example, Oathsworn Harmony is going to be kind of stupid because there's no free cities on this map we're about to play. So, that doesn't matter. Is d3d10.dll. Thank you, Mahuyo. So, Viper, the file is d3d10.dll. Delete that file with your game closed, then reopen the game and it'll remake it, and it won't have the add-on if you deleted the add-on also. Why is Primal not available? It's because
What is your people's form?
I was thinking of taking Desolate Adaptation. If I change that, any of the adaptations conflict with the Primals. So if I get rid of that, and I'm like, okay, let's give him plus 10 hit points instead. Now Primal's available.
Culture?
The thing is, I don't think any of these are Desolate. However, you know, the Primals make their own favored terrain, so it doesn't really matter. Have you tried recreating Total War fantasy factions on Age of Wonders? Yeah, I made an army of rat people, and I called them Skaven in one run. Made some goblins, called them Greenskins. Yeah, we've done some silly runs like that. Ashland is Desolate? Is it? Is Ashland and Desolate the same thing? I thought those were two different things. If that's the case, then that's my mistake. I thought that was a different thing. Desolate just means lots of Ashland. Okay, alright. Yeah, we could do a Primal run. Ash Sabertooth. One thing with these is I think Stormcrow and maybe Crocodile are the only ones you can summon in water battles, which means this faction is worse in water battles. But it said this is a Pangea map, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of water. Sure, let's do it.
What defines their society?
Alright, so Empire of the Cosmos is not going to be great on this map, because we already are going to have no affinity requirements for tomes. So, do not need to worry about that. This was a fun one. We did Empire of the Cosmos on the last run, and it was fun. It was a very new way to play. Alright, Fabled Hunters is one of my go-tos, always. It's really solid. You start with an extra ranged unit. Helps in the early game. Your units heal more health every turn that passes, so it helps with sustain and recovery. And you get way more resources and money whenever you clear a, like, bandit camp or something. So, it's just solid all around, no matter who you're playing. Second one... Devious Watchers I like. It just more vision range, and your scouts are hidden. This is just nice the whole game. Anything involving free cities is bad. This one, just to share a quick story, I tried this once on one of my own runs, like, you know, not streaming. This one is tricky to make work. Basically, every structure you make takes twice as long. But every structure you make increases city stability and gold income. And you start with an extra tier 3 unit. So on turn 1, you're way stronger than everybody else because of that tier 3 unit. But everyone else skyrockets past you in terms of, like, you know, teching up. It's really hard to kind of catch up with this because of the, you know, everything takes twice as much production. For a while, there was a thing where, you know, if you just made outposts on the map, every outpost would give you +5 gold because it counted as a city structure. But I think they nerfed that because the way to play Perfectionist Artisans was literally just cover the map and outposts, and I think they got rid of that interaction. I had a Perfectionist Artisan with Aristocratic Feudal, which exploded in production at the end game. Let's see, Apex Predators. Talented Collectors is kind of fun too. Start with Item Forge and some stuff to craft with. I'll just go with one that I know works well.
Choose your first tome.
Okay, so there's no tome affinity requirements on this map. So literally every single tier 1 tome is an option. And affinity is only going to matter for going up that tech tree thing. Tentacle is one I've often started with just because Conjure Tentacle is very good in early fights. Sprite was alright. The sprites were, you know, decent strength, and they would tech up to, like, or not tech up, sorry, they, like, evolve to a tier 3 unit. They evolve from tier 1 to tier 3 when they max out. Any chance you're going to play Dino Blade? Hello, K-Crit, what's up? I'm not familiar with Dino Blade. I would have to, like, watch a trailer or something to see what it's like. I don't know what that is at this time. Warband is solid. This is supposed to be a 5-skull map, so I don't want to go too memey, because I don't know how tough it's going to be. So I think what I'm gonna do is start with something that I know is a solid start. I'll start with the tentacle spell,
What
and then
is
we'll
your
go
ruler's
we'll
origin?
branch out from there. Okay. What is our lord gonna be? We're starting in Ashlands. So there's definitely some synergy with the fire giant, but I honestly just did a run with fire giant, and I don't wish to do that again right now. I could be a vampire. Champion. I actually do enjoy the champion. A champion is nice because when you do enchantments on your people, it affects your lord also. So like, you know, in that last run, we had like, you know, the angelic thing on our people, but my giant couldn't fly, so the leader army could not cross lava. So champion is nice. Dragon is always nice. I think dragon has the best synergy with the industry people. Eldritch is freaky. Eldritch is spooky. You know what? We recently unlocked the Grimoire weapon. I'm wondering if a ritualist can start with that.
Reveal yourself.
Like if I did Writ. It can, yeah. Usually I start with a druid staff because it can cast sap strength for free in battle. This is just to show, we did that in the first story mission of this campaign, but the Grimoires are new. So the Grimoire, when you use it, it gives you a attack that basically uses your whole turn, so you can't move the turn you do it, but it has 8 range, which is one of the longest range abilities in the game. So essentially, he becomes a long-range nuker, and then he has a short-range ability, which is just get out of my face, and this is like what you use if something gets too close. So I've never started with a Grimoire because they're new to the game. So, do that. What is this? Oh, this is just like male or female. Let's do a Yas Queen. We were dude the last 2 runs. What's this? Oh, this is just like, I mean, they're called ancients. I don't think they'd be too muscular. Let's go in the middle. Long monkey arms. Anytime there's a slider for hand or feet size, I think about Sonic the Hedgehog. Halfling. She's gonna be tall. When are you checking out the Guild Wars 2 patch? So, Rolf, I'm going to do a news video on it in like just over an hour. And then tonight, for my evening stream, I'm going to do Guild Wars 2. I don't usually do that on Wednesdays, but I'm very eager to try out the new stuff on my Druid. So the whole evening stream tonight will be Guild Wars 2, friends. Skin decoration? I'll come back to this. Let's see. Hold on. Where's the hat? I think these right here with like the skulls, these are primal specific. I like that one.
Dynablade. Remember Red Wolf from Elden Ring? Imagine that, but dinosaurs. You play as a dinosaur with a sword in its mouth. Also, isn't Fire Giant allowed to wade through lava?
Apparently not.
I thought all the giants had bonus terrain mobility in their own element like that.
Apparently not. Because, I mean, if you rewind, you can see it in the VOD, but I tried it. Like, I selected individual units in an army, and the Dragoons, although the Dragoons were guys on horseback and the guys had wings because they were with the horse, they couldn't go through lava, and the giant couldn't go through lava. New Grim Dawn expansion next week? Yeah. I need to finish, so either Age of Wonders 4 or, what is the evening game right now? I'm freaking blank. Oh, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Once I finish one of those, maybe we'll do Grim Dawn. This mask, this makes me think of Kindred from League of Legends. I know it's not the same, but it's similar. It just reminds me of it. I like it. Cape. Oh, that looks kind of sick. Wait, where's the, what are the outfit options? So this is the Lady Primal outfits. It looks like this one, like the texture hasn't loaded. This is the one where she's got the weird, like, angel legs. I think I like that one. Okay. So yeah, gonna start Rit. I know I started Rit the last 2 times. It's too freaking good in the early game. Because the ability to, like, start a fight with your whole army at half health and then heal your troops before the enemy reaches you, it just gives you so much more options in the early game. So, like, I love the Ranger, I love the Warlock, but I don't want to start with them. I want them as, like, my second thing. Yeah, that's fine.
When the prophecy of Anon had been fulfilled, and Merlin rested from Urath's control, the Godia of Mage Haven rejoiced, hoping
Merlin with the
Merlin's
tentacles.
powers and knowledge of the enemy would turn the tide in the great Umbral War. Yet Merlin, guilt-ridden and drained, barely mustered the strength to repulse them. He walked the streets of Mage Haven as a tired old man, dismissing friends and foes alike. Until one day, Merlin disappeared, and no traces of him were to be found. Only a vague rumor persisted that Merlin had become a recluse, imprisoning himself in meditations on a floating island somewhere within the astral sea.
I feel like this is unrelated to the last mission we did, but this is related to one of the other campaigns we did in the past was when Merlin got corrupted and he became all tentacly. So this seems like a continuation of one of the previous campaigns.
Alas, the astral flows can be treacherous, and a man of once great power cannot hide from the cosmos forever. A messenger of the Horwind, an ancient owl people attracted to arcane secrets,
Bird
was
people.
the first to find Merlin's astral refuge. She talked in riddles, alluding to a quest of dire importance. Thereafter came many mages, some impatient, others tenacious, seeking his mentorship. Merlin ignored them all. At last, the Horwind messenger grew desperate, speaking more openly. Her people had sensed rippling echoes in the astral flows, signs of unusually strong magic activity, leading back.
I will in like an
Evermore.
hour, Crimson.
Evermore. Hearing that name roused Merlin from his meditations. He looked at the messenger and the one Godia who had outlasted all other aspirants. Then he conceded. This is the tale of their return to Athla's broken wizard's throne.
The 3 story realms of Secrets of the Archmages focus on the circle of mages that exist across multiple realms. Now you're going back to the one people know the most about from AOW2. AOW4 is the only Age of Wonders I've ever played. And I've never really felt like I had to have played the previous games to understand them, but there was some previous campaigns in this game, in Age of Wonders 4, that involved trying to save or stop Cthulhu Merlin. So this seems related to that. Especially since that first picture that loaded in was, you know, him with tentacles. Oh, I forgot to name my lord, so she's Dagny Slitherdance. Okay. Oh boy. Evermore. Since you arrived on its astral shores, an ancient magic washes up, out, and over you. Merlin, after observing from a distance, approaches you at last. You can feel it too, Dagny, he remarks, gazing afar. Despite the passing of ages and disasters, Evermore's spell still befuddles. To the elves it offered healing, to the wizard kings squandered immortality. To the shadow demons, it was mere sustenance. To me, unloved home. Merlin slowly clasps his grimoire with his corrupted arm. The cosmos is ancient, and some things are better left undisturbed. Evermore's magic is being meddled with, and we must find out by whom. You never told me why you sought me out on that barren rock, Dagny, Merlin asked, suddenly turning to you. Or you told me, and I didn't listen. Gain a oh my goodness. Okay, this is like 10 turns of research. Or unlock a Tome of Mayhem, but it delays another tome. To invite you to the lands of my people, unlock the Tome of Glades, which is a tier 2 tome. Or unlock Tome of the Doom Herald. I'm going to take 10 turns of research, because then I can get a lot of things I specifically want on turn 1. Master and apprentice, Merlin repeats, rephrasing your words. That cannot be. Instead, Evermore itself will be your teacher. I was the arbiter of Athla's Circle of Deogai, he continues, changing the subject while you start feeling a nagging strain in your head. I sat there on the wizard's throne seeking cosmic balance, but it was all for naught. The strain intensifies, slowly obfuscating your thoughts, for I was one with the enemy, Urot's agent. Merlin's clasp eclipses yourself, reduces the world to one voice. Merlin's voice. You must understand, Dagny. My words cannot be trusted, my thoughts cannot be trusted. The grip loosens, and the world slowly returns to focus. Go now, he finishes. Study the echoes below the shattered throne. Remember to not remember. You'll drop to half health. Gain knowledge and a bonus. Prove your mind's strength. Okay. Hold on. So my mana goes from 50 to 0. Knock Merlin to half health. You level up to level 2. Or gain 10 alignment. So if I do, the main thing here is if I do this, I will not be able to summon Tentacle in the first fight if I need to. So that's 2.5 turns of mana at our current income. You know what? I'm going to do it. Alright. Strike back at Merlin. Prove your mind's strength. Spend 50 mana. Merlin drops to half health. You level up. Alright. So, here's our starting forces. Here's our army. We're at half health, but we're going to recover that health pretty quickly. We've got a Animus. That's like a support unit. A shield unit. Primal Darter. This is a scout. Okay, we've got 2... Okay, hang on a sec. So what we're going to do, we're going to move that. We started with a tier 3 unit? I don't know why, but that's awesome. Might be something unique to this map. So the tier 3 unit for the primals is this polearm person. Okay, so what we want to do now is, what's the weakest thing near us? So that's 215, 230, 200, 250. Okay, so this over here is the weakest foe. Alright, so we're going to come over here. And look at this. We want to start with Storehouse to get more food. Now, research. I mentioned earlier, we got like 10 turns of research done on turn 1. So it's going to let me like choose something and instantly finish it multiple times in a row. Okay. Alright. It's not going to be able to use any mana. Alright, let's do a manual combat and see what tools we're working with. It's been a little bit since I played Primals. Okay, so the Primal support unit, we stole one from an enemy on the last campaign, but it has got summon their primal spirit, which last time the unit I stole was summoning those big green spiders. This time it's a Sabertooth, because we went with the Desolate people. We've got 2 primal darters, which is like they use like a blow dart gun, but it's basically like the archer for this thing. And we've got a defender and the polearm thing. So here's our hero. She's at level after the first level. Oh, I should have done it before the battle. I could have had her hit level 2 before the battle, and then I would have been able to cast a heal on turn 1 here, but I'm not used to having a level up before we even start. Alright, so we're just going to move her there. These guys can do spiritual healing, so we'll just do a little bit of heal there, and then we'll just let them get closer. Okay, these units coming at us, they are ranged. Okay. Wait, no, are they? Hold on. No. No, they have, like, burning claws. Okay, it's a melee range thing. Alright, so we're going to... Alright. Leap there. And you... those. I can give someone an extra turn. Or I can blast. Alright, summon the Sabertooth. So this is the Sabertooth Spirit. It has Pounce, Melee Strike, it does fire damage, can set enemies on fire. So do Pounce there. And hit it again. Alright, so what's going to do more damage? Me blasting with the tome or giving someone else an extra turn? I think the extra turn. There we go. Another mechanic of primals is whenever their units attack, they get this thing called Rising Fury. And once it gets to 3 stacks, they then get a buff for a time, and then the buff wears off and they build Rising Fury again. So this one, when they have Rising Fury, they do splash fire damage. I think the Spider is debatably the best one because their Rising Fury adds life stealing, so all their units heal themselves. But we are not that. Oh god, please don't kill that unit. Alright, we're gonna move this over here. Actually, hold on, Control Z. We're gonna move this over here, and then use Primal Renewal, which heals him a bit and goes into defense mode. Alright, you will also heal. Alright. Use the Grimoire and blast that. Okay, one of them died. Oh, the splash. So she just hit that one, but because she had the splash damage, it finished off that one back there also. That's excellent. Okay. So Frost Rebuke is the Grimoire close range thing. Also, it didn't trigger a retaliation attack. Huh. I expected it to do so. I thought the imp thing would hit it back. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay. Alright. Alright, and we are going to set these 2 scouts to auto-explore. Alright, your ruler leveled up. My favorite thing to start with here, you can get a single target heal or a AoE heal right here. I have my favorites. I really like the AoE heal. So it's AoE heal for 15 or single target heal for 30. But later on you get this thing where any of your support skills give regen, and this one is the AoE heal does regen. So I really like this one because, you know, it just keeps heal going on a lot of troops. So we're gonna get that. And Okay, so we have finished 2 researches and we need to start another one. Let's do 10